Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. And the question is David Benavidez putting duck sauce on the fried rice? Or maybe he got some duck sauce on that carne asada? Because I need to know what the hell's going on. Because duck sauce don't go on habichuela. David Benavidez is out here talking about when it comes to David Morrell. Matter of fact, let me see if I can pull this up for y'all, right? Absolutely crazy that they wanted David Morrell, who's the WBA World Super Middleweight Champion, right? They wanted David Morrell to go and fight Caleb Plant, to go and fight somebody else, get some more wins on his record. The conversations turned to, who is David Morrell? He doesn't deserve a shot against David Benavidez, the Mexican monster. Now to that, I say, in the most respectful way, that they should hold their horses and stop taking it to the stupid. When people look at David Morrell and the fact that he's only had 9 fights, right? And it's not just that he's had 9 fights. It's the fact that he's coming to boxing with his 9 fights and out here tranquilizing people. They don't want to talk about that. But let me point something out to y'all, man. You want to know why David Morrell is out here in only 9 fights? He's picked up that WBA strap. Well, I'm going to tell you. Let's break something down for y'all so y'all can understand. First of all, David Morrell is his short name. His real name is Osvaldo David Morrell Gutierrez Jr. Now, he's a Cuban professional boxer. Now, some people don't even realize this man's from Cuba. But anyway, he's held a WBA regular super middleweight championship since 2021. Now, as an amateur, this is why when you look at these guys, like even a Lomachenko, when they turn pro and they just take off, and out here fighting in championship fights in single-digit numbers of professional fights, is because of what they did as an amateur. When you take a look at him, man, he won gold medals at the 2016 Youth World Championships and the 2017 Cuban National Championships. Now, as an amateur, David Morrell, the guy who they're saying, what has he done as a professional? Screw David Morrell. He needs to go on and fight Caleb Plant. He needs to fight more people. He needs to build up his resume. Well, I'll tell you what, as an amateur, and in boxing, the amateur career matters. It matters. He compiled a record of 130 wins and 2 losses. He won gold medals at the 2016 Youth World Championships, where he was named Best Boxer of the Tournament, 2017 Cuban National Championships, and the 2018 India Open International Boxing Tournament. So that means David Morrell been out here getting busy. See, this is the thing they don't talk about. That's what I'm talking about. 130 amateur wins and 2 losses. That's crazy. Now, when he became professional, man, in 2019, August 28th, he was able to get a first-round knockout, which was no surprise. And then he went on after that, man, and continued to clip people. But what was interesting is he ended up facing Lennox Allen for the vacant WBA interim super middleweight title in 2020. He won that fight. But I'll tell you what was crazy is after defending his titles, right, he ended up going into about, I think it was his last fight. His last fight? I think it was his last fight. Yeah. November 5th, 2022, where he fought a guy, Ados Yerbosnulli, and he beat the living daylights out of this guy. You guys go watch the highlights. It's scary to watch how he was beating him. But the guy was tough. But anyway, that guy, Yerbosnulli, he ended up being hospitalized and had to be put in an induced coma due to bleeding on his brain. So when it comes to David Morrell, in my opinion, David Benavidez and other fighters, when they talk about who is he only has 9 fights. Screw David Morrell. Nah, I think it's like, this guy's the real deal. This man is walking around here fighting at 168. He's like David Benavidez. Probably should be fighting a heavyweight. He's a big boy, man. But I think it's because they know although he only has 9 wins, he's undefeated. he's got a interim. He got a belt just like David Benavidez. But let me tell you something. He's a problem. He is a problem. See, people keep looking at this damn professional record. Oh, well, David Benavidez has all these fights. David Morrell only has 9. Yo, hold your horses. But when you look at what he did as an amateur, all that crap about the professional stuff, it matters. Don't get me wrong, it matters. But the fact that David Benavidez has 28 fights with a lot of knockouts himself, that amateur pedigree, it has a lot to do with why this guy, David Morrell, is out here and kind of finding it hard to get fights. Matter of fact, he does have a fight scheduled in a couple weeks where I fully expect him to go out there and get the victory. But going into next year, don't expect David Benavidez and David Morrell to fight. David Benavidez does not want anything to do with David Morrell. Before, he was saying he would fight him, right? That was the talk. You fight him, you fight Andre. He already fought Caleb Plant. He'll keep picking people off until he can get to Canelo. But they seem to have had a change of heart towards getting in there with the damn Cuban professional David Morrell. And I can't blame him. So if you ask me, are they putting duck sauce on their fried rice? Well, I'll tell you what. If Canelo won't fight David Benavidez, and David Benavidez is the mandatory, but forget that. The fact that he won't fight him, and everybody's saying Canelo putting duck sauce on the fried rice or the carne asada, then if David Benavidez won't go out there and just try to clip Morrell, then David Benavidez is putting duck sauce on the fried rice or the carne asada or the habichuela y arroz. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Go fight the man. Go clip him. Because I tell you what, if David Benavidez fought Morrell and was able to clip him, boy, oh boy, Canelo already has nowhere to run when, the WBC says, hey, look, we think that's the fight that Canelo needs next, is to finally fight David Benavidez. But what's so crazy, and this is why I told you, is Canelo's so slippery. I said, I don't think that fight's going to happen next year. WBC's not going to make that man fight. I made a joke saying the cartels will come after Suleiman. And then look, Canelo did an interview yesterday. I do what I want. What did he say? I'm the king at 168. I do what I want. So that's Canelo letting everybody know. No one tells me what to do. And that's and basically he just went out there and just outed the WBC. Because I'm sure they sit back with old Canelito and have conversations, and they're like, hey, we just have to say these things, Canelo, and to kind of keep everybody off of us, kind of bring down the heat. But don't worry, Canelito, you do what you want. Next year, if you want to fight Naoya Inoue, we can make the fight. You want to fight Tank Davis, we can make the fight. Hey, I even heard Victor Chinian's coming back. Hey, we can make that fight. That being said, if Canelo's putting duck sauce on the fried rice, because you all say he's afraid of David Benavidez because he won't fight him, although Benavidez has been the mandatory for 2 years. If Benavidez is going to say, hey, I already beat Plant, I beat Andre, I'm going to beat Morrell. I'm going to keep plucking these guys off till I get the Canelo fight, and all of a sudden he has a change of heart. And he's like, nah, David Benavidez needs to do more work. David Morrell needs to put more work in. He only has 9 fights. Who is this guy? Well, maybe somebody got a little bit of duck sauce. I don't know how to say duck sauce in Spanish. I know pavo is duck. Sauce de pavo. Anyway, man, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans all 7 continents. But if y'all didn't know that David Morrell, why he's doing what he's doing, is because of that Cuban amateur pedigree. Those programs are amazing. That's why this man is out here in the position he's in. And I don't see anybody messing with him at all. At all. Next year may be a very dry year for him, because what does he do? Man, let me see if I can pull this up, man. Let me see. Let me web capture. Let me go here. Boxing rankings. Okay. So when you look here, this is what you got for David Morrell. I was about to end the video, but you see he got Billy, Bazignan, McCroy, Hernandez, Caleb Plant, Melikuziev, Pacheco, Corzo. He got Nurmagomedov Agbeko, which is who he's about to fight. I think he's fighting Agbeko. You got Fernandez, Zakin Hubbard, Siliagin, Beggy, Simpson, Tapia. I mean, he really doesn't have any real choices here. Diego Pacheco, they're not gonna put him in. They're not gonna put Diego Pacheco in the ring with that guy. Period. So Caleb Plant's not gonna want to mess with him. Period. So I don't know what's gonna happen with David Morrell. I think David Morrell's gonna have a dead year next year because he's gonna struggle to get big name fighters. But he's just gonna have to do what David Benavidez is saying, kind of by default. He's just gonna go out here and keep fighting and getting wins. So it is what it is. That being said, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans all 7 continents. But we need to know what's really going on. Somebody putting duck sauce on that fried rice. Or maybe not. In the breeze.